Here's how we scaled a client from $0 to $183,000 monthly recurring revenue in just 28 days. Gonna need some electrolytes for this one. Anyways, it's been crazy. We placed second place in the Skool games back in December. And I know this is a long-awaited video. I have a bunch of people commenting on some of my posts saying, hey, when's the video coming out? But here it is. Sorry it took so long for me. It's been a long process, but we've really stabilized things for Skool games and for this client's other offers, right? So this client's in the painting niche. He teaches painting contractors how to grow their business by increasing their lead flow, bettering their sales process, charging more, using systems and automation to basically make them more of a business owner and to automate their business so that they're not just grinding on the tools all day. And lastly, to recruit other painters, right? A loyal team of painters. So he teaches those 4 or 5 main things to help people grow their painting business. And for the longest time, for the last 2 years, he's been scaling using one VSL funnel, and it's a great funnel. And it basically goes from ad, you click on the ad, they opt in, they watch a VSL for 10 minutes, and then it's a very direct VSL that goes to a book to call offer, right? And so they book a call, they qualify the call, then they sell them on the coaching program. This was the hard part. Would naturally see around a 3 to 4x return on ad spend. However, we had thousands of people. We spend around 60 grand a month on ads, sometimes 70, 80 grand a month on ads to this one funnel. And over the course of 2 years, spending that per month, we've accumulated thousands, tens of thousands of unqualified leads. And in these forms, we ask, hey, do you have enough money to invest in something like this for a deposit or have access to it? And there's plenty of people that check no, right? We get around a 40-50% check rate, as in 40 to 50% of the leads that book a call are actually qualified, right? With the amount of money. And so the last 40-50% they're basically just on the email list. And if they want to book a call down the line, once their painting business, they have enough money or enough capital to invest in the coaching, then they'll book a call again, which still works. But we wanted to get people in the program to not essentially waste those leads, right? We wanted to have a lower barrier to entry to build trust, get them a few wins, and then they'll have enough money to ascend to the coaching program. So that was the whole reason behind creating this Skool community for painters. Original goal when we decided to join the Skool games back in December of 2024 was to hit 100K MRR or monthly recurring revenue within that 28-day period of the competition. We pushed really hard that month, and our average income that we make is around, just from the coaching program itself, we make around 150 to 200K a month, usually on 60K of ad spend, right? So just on the Skool community alone, we want to get a lot of those unqualified buyers to join in. So the first thing that we did to get a bunch of people just into the program first few days was to simply email and text a lot of those unqualified leads that kind of been nurturing for a long time, but have never been afford the high ticket coaching program. And so from day one, we knocked it out of the park just by emailing and sending simple SMS messages saying basically, hey, we have a community for painting contractors to hit their first, 10, 20K months and things like that. And it's only $97 a month. And so we got a ton of people and a few $1,000s in recurring revenue. We actually got to, I think, our first $14,000 in recurring revenue just from sending emails and SMS right there. And then the rest of it, we started with doing advertising on paid ads, right? And a mixture of continuing the emails and the SMS. Don't always forget about your organic marketing on your social channels, as well as your warm lists and your warm SMS that are more likely to buy rather than going straight to cold. So take advantage of that first. And that's exactly what we did for Facebook ads. If we look at the laptop right here, we started out with just retargeting. We tried to see how far we can go with retargeting, right? And so for this $97 offer, we started out just with retargeting, and we got around 14 more buyers here on a monthly recurring, right? And then we branched out some more, right? And so we branched out and we started to lower the price just for that month, just to get more people in. And so we went from 97, we played with 67 a month. And 67 seemed to be the sweet spot. We put timers, things like that all over it. So, and here's what we did for painter growth. We didn't follow this method. We tweaked the landing page. We tested multiple methods of going from lead capture to Skool. We also tested from sales page that redirected, our own sales page that redirected to a Skool community. But actually what we found worked best, even though it wasn't the greatest for tracking because Hyros wasn't able to track fully directly to sales page, but it worked the best going from ad straight to sales page. So if we go here, we take it to the about page and we treated it like this, right? It goes to a community. And at the time we put something very specific that said Skool community join for only 97 and we had a slash for 67 and we had a deadline for everything. So price ended or rose on this certain date. And for us, it was December 26th or 28th, I believe. Have that and then have your VSL, right? And we did something like this. And this needs to get updated. But we did a year-end special, or you could do holiday special, things like that. It was during Christmas time, right? Before New Year's. And we had some kind of tagline. Book your next 5 jobs for just not 197, but 97 per month, right? And at the time, we changed it from 197.97, had to slash through that, and it said 67. So this year-end price will go back up 197 after December 28th, right? So we need to update this. But a lot of the heavy lifting was done through this VSL.
As a painting contractor, do you ever feel...
You can check it out on your own time. But we basically hit the pain points of painting contractors who are unqualified, trying to get their first 5 jobs booked or an extra 5 jobs booked during that winter season, because it was, winter season is typically the slower season for painters, and then it picks back up in the summer and spring and fall, things like that. So, and then the rest, we didn't have multiple videos or anything. We just filled it with testimonials, when commercial, learn to close on the spot, and then like a simple testimonial at the end. Nothing too crazy on the Skool page. As far as this really does help as well, if you want to hear objections, especially in the beginning, and we still do this because we have a team of setters, we have a few setters, but we had these setters take the calls instead of the closers, right? Because it's very low sale. But we had a free call that they could schedule if they had any more questions right up top. And then, a simple ad copy, similar to what we use in the actual ads itself, acts as like another ad right here. And so tell them all this stuff, and then if there's a specific date, be sure to put that in there. We had that in there, and then we changed it because right now it's evergreen, and then they can schedule a call again here. Just takes them to a Calendly. So this is super important, right? And so over time we're aiming for 100K MRR, and we're running a lot of retargeting traffic, and I can kind of show you what that kind of looked like. So we go into here, we talk about year-end sale. He's wearing a Santa hat and everything, and we did a special VSL for this. So we tested out the VSL and hit on a lot of the pain points, things like that. Honestly, super simple, nothing insane, very similar to what we had on the landing page to make it congruent, right? And we tested a bunch of different creatives for this, different ad copy, things like that. So we were able to pull in quite a few sales through this. Simple image ads also worked well for this. In fact, our image ads typically brought on lower cost per sale just because CPMs were cheaper. And you can see that we got creative with some of the images and things like that. So learn how to become a 6-figure painting contractor for not $6,000, 97, now 67 a month for life, right? And that's monthly recurring. Then we gave them, deadlines and things like that. And I just want to show you this is my personal favorite. I made him into the Grinch, which is great. And so this one got some good traction right here for the small amount of time that we did run the ad for. And the more engagement you get on an ad, the more Facebook likes that because of the engagement, keeping them on the platform. They'll lower your CPMs, you get a lower cost per click, which usually results in lower cost per acquisition or cost per result, right? So this is great. So super simple ad, went to the about page. After you get to the about page, if they have any questions, they can always schedule a call. Setter hits them up. Either way, if they schedule it, tried to sell them on that. And the Skool games created unhealthily healthy competition. We push harder than ever to win, doubling our MRR that we had wanted, or that we had aimed for. Even though we didn't get first place, we're now the 4th largest Skool community. How we did this is we had some healthy competition with another company that was also in the Skool games. There was a lot of people that joined the Skool games because it's a free thing, and the winner gets a bunch of money, get to meet Alex Ramosi, things like that. But there was one other company in the niche of barbershops and barbering and things like that that was scaling just as fast as we were. And it was like week by week, day by day even. We'd get the 30K MRR, they'd get the 35. The next day we'd get the 45K. The next week they'd get the 50. and then we'd get to 60, they would get to 62, and there was always this constant battle that was going on and pushing us, right? And so they started to do some things where it was like they have a high ticket coaching program, and they started to bill that high ticket coaching through that Skool community, and they would change the price. And usually we wouldn't do this, but because they were kind of inflating the numbers with that sense so much, because their Skool community was only $1 a month, and ours was $67 a month. However, they had $1,000 a month high ticket offer that they're converting a lot of those $1 a month people. So, and they were counting it towards the community, which, yeah, you can think about how you can, but really the real kicker of how we're able to achieve this was we sold our high ticket program through the Skool community as well. So, you know, we got so many $67 purchasers, and the first thing, they get a free complimentary call, and the sales reps would basically go on, help them, onboard them, and then they would pose the question of, hey, are you ready for more? And we had a special end of year promotion, just like the Skool community, where they got the coaching program for half off for the monthly fee. And so it was $1,000 a month for quite a few months, right? And so we were able to do that, push a lot of new customers in, not only to Skool, but to our coaching program. And so even though numbers aren't fully, it's not like we got 183K of just $67 purchases. It was still MRR, and it's still a monthly recurring income, but it was more for high ticket as well. It was kind of a feeder system, and we're pushing it really hard to win because that's what they were doing. And even when we did get to 183K in monthly recurring, even though we're winning that last day and we got a bunch of people, like 20 or 10 minutes before, they boosted up another 40, 50 grand. Who knows how much of those are actually fake sales or not, but you know, it is what it is. We were so confident, like, oh, we're actually, the good news is they weren't fake sales, and this was actual money going back to the business, right? This was actual money that we did get 183K in MRR, just not all of them were $67 a month purchasers. Some of them were 67, but also a lot of them too were also $999 a month purchasers, right? For the high ticket program, right? We had so much onboarding going on in January. It was nuts. They had to hire so many more customer success managers just to get those people, because it was an unusual month of, we pretty much doubled or I think we close to tripled the amount of high ticket sales that we usually get, just because we had that special promotion and we're pushing so hard, right? Why does this win matter? Even though we got second place, we got 183K in MRR. It was predictable, stable revenue stream. This supports future growth for the client as well. We got a bunch of leads, bunch of new low ticket purchasers. The momentum we built will keep driving results. It was a record month that we've ever had in what, he's been in business for over 4 or 5 years, and it was record month, and he makes millions of dollars every year. That was incredible. The whole team pushed hard, almost to the point where the other company would host a impromptu live webinar to try to get more sales in, and then we would do an impromptu live webinar, and then we do this marketing strategy of this type of VSL funnel, and then they would copy the exact thing. So it was very unhealthy, but it was also healthy too. Like, we're growing, we're making good money on both ends. But it was a lot of like, they do something, we do something. We do something, they copy us and do something. They do something, and it's just constant. The great news is that marketing and sales were totally aligned. Everyone worked towards the same goal. We leveraged Skool's community. We built engagement and retention super fast. Our churn rate is very low. It wasn't all waste hype. It was just worked for 1 month. We have a lot of people still in the community, still consuming the content. We're not billing high ticket anymore through here, so most of the members in here are whatchamacallit at the 67 or 97 a month still, and then we transitioned all the high ticket back to normal Stripe. But we also got to see high performing offers. We got to see how much we could spend, and even though we didn't spend as much, we spent like 60 grand still in advertising, and we pushed harder on the Skool side. We only spent like 18, 20,000 on the Skool side in that period, but it really helped drive conversions. We got people to commit really quick, and we got to use a lot of urgency and scarcity. Key takeaways: use organic and paid strategies at the same time. Make sure to launch it when you join the Skool games, so you can have that big boost in the beginning, how we got like 14K literally like that first or second day in MRR just from sending to all those unqualified leads that we've collected over the years, right? And so if you're building from scratch, be sure to email your list daily and keep that going, and make sure to have the full strategy in place. If you have a Skool community, make sure to have the end in mind. I would probably start with something more high ticket that you can later sell the low ticket community. It's always smart to use the community as an ascension model or a feeder system into your high ticket programs, because that's really is what's going to recoup your return on ad spend, right? Now, if you're doing software, I don't suggest you use Skool and stuff like that, but software is a different game. But as far as Skool community, most people are coaches, course creators, people in the info product space, and that really helps. So if you have a Skool community and want to scale fast, I can help. I've helped take one of my clients from 0 to 183K MRR in just 28 days, as you just saw. And yeah, looking forward to it.